Hello everybody, it's Aaron from Screen Stars back once again to do another review for Geek Legion of Doom, and today I am reviewing the horror slasher stoner comedy 420 Massacre, a film that I saw a trailer of fairly recently, so I'm really pleased to be doing this review for Geek Legion of Doom. And this film essentially focuses on 5 girls who go on a camping trip out into the woods to basically get stoned and have a good time, but unfortunately there is a maniac running around the woods chopping people up for fun, and that is almost the genius of this movie. Its paper thin plot is actually one of its strengths, because I'm constantly complaining about movies, and sometimes low budget movies, which this is, with not very good budgets, and they overcomplicate matters with convoluted plots. Well, this goes right back to basics, this movie. Its plot is paper thin. It's basically just what I've said. 5 girls go into the forest on a camping trip to get stoned and have a good time, and they're basically stalked by some madman in the woods who's chopping people up. That's your story. If you like complicated horror movies, you should check out at this point, because you ain't going to get it with this movie. But what you actually do get with this movie is a lot of fun. I had a blast with this movie. It's dumb as hell at times. I mean, for example, as they're walking in to their camping site, it's like a 4-mile walk from where they park the car, they meet a creepy forest ranger who would put anybody off going any further. They meet some guy popping out of the woods with a bag full of weed who claims his best friend's dead. And then they meet some redneck hunter that's shooting the wildlife, who looks about as friendly as a serial killer. Yet they still continue on to the campsite. Now, after me meeting the creepy ranger guy, I had to turn around and gone straight back home. But they continue on, they don't listen to the warning signs, which is... it's just hilarious, really, that they do all that kind of stuff. I think, but it's one of the charms of this movie. It's got a cracking soundtrack. It's got a really quirky soundtrack that it's got mixed in with like really catchy tunes that are going with it. The girls, one of them is Bernadette, who is showing up a lot in horror movies these days. You actually believe that they're pals and they get on. They really work well as a group, and I think they do a really good job of building this bond between us, the audience member, and this group of girls, to the point where things start going wrong. You actually fear for them, and you don't really want any of them to die, because they've taken the time to build this relationship with them, which I thought was very good and very clever. So you actually fear for them, and you're concerned for them when it all starts kicking off later in the movie. It's surprisingly gory without being in your face gore, if you like. It's not gory for gory's sake. It's gory because it's a horror movie, if you like. A light criticism is, I would say, it's fairly light on the comedy. It's there, it's quite light-hearted, and there's a couple of wisecracks, certainly from one of them in the group and stuff, but I wouldn't class this as a comedy as such. It's quite light on the comedy, and it actually gets pretty deep at times in regards to sexuality and personal relationships and stuff in the movie. It's a surprisingly gory fun film, this, and I really enjoyed it. I thought they made very few missteps with this movie. I would find it hard for anybody to watch this movie who's a horror fan, who wouldn't enjoy it, really. There's too much to enjoy. The acting's very good throughout. We've got Jim Storm, who turns up as the creepy ranger, who does a great job. He steals every scene he's in. Like I said, the relationship building's fantastic, which a lot of horror movies get that so wrong. They actually took the time to pick actresses, I think, that had good chemistry here, and it worked on screen, and that can sometimes sell a movie, and I think that they do a really good job with the casting in this movie. So it's a lot of fun to watch as this movie. It's filmed well. I think the director does a good job. It's quite stylistic in how it's filmed. It's got a unique colour palette to it. The music's catchy. Yeah, I can't give you a lot of negatives here, guys. Yeah, paper thin plot. I suppose you could say it's fairly predictable, but going into a movie called The 420 Massacre, and it's described as like a stoner horror comedy, I think you kind of know what you're going to get with this movie. You don't get a lot of surprises here. The only surprise is, for me, the quality of it, because I didn't expect this movie to be anything like as good as it was. I think this was a really, really fun movie, and I think I'm going to give this movie a good solid 7 out of 10 because I had a blast with it. I had fun with it. It ain't going to win any awards, I know that, but to satisfy the horror audience out there, I think this will definitely do the job. So this is a recommendation from me, guys, so thank you very much for watching.